Hi everyone, it's Luke here from Weekend Tour Pros, and we're back out on the golf course today to do a review of this. It's the Tag Heuer Connected Smartwatch in the Golf Edition. Now, because we are a golf channel, we are going to focus much of the review on the golf features. However, I will in a second show you the general features and benefits of this as a smartwatch. Now, I must say before we get stuck into the review that I've not been paid by Tag to do this review. The watch was bought for me as a gift by my wife as a wedding present, and I've had the watch for about 6 months now and used it for about 20 rounds. So I'm not affiliated with Tag in any way, shape or form. But Tag, if you're watching this, you want to add me to Nick Doherty, Tommy Fleetwood, Luke from Weekend Tour Pros as an affiliate, I'll be more than happy to be an ambassador. Yes, please. Right, just going to go and finish this hole out, and then I'll tell you all about the features and benefits of this watch. Let's go. Okay, so before I hit this drive, guys, I just thought I'd give you a generic overview of the features. I've got these jotted down on my phone, so I'm just going to read them out to you and just tell you my opinion on a few of them. So first of all, the operating system is Wear OS, which is Google's operating system. That means that it works with both Android devices and iOS or iPhone devices. One thing I would say is you do need to have the Wear OS app downloaded on your phone. On the Android device, you don't need to have that app constantly open in the background, but on the Apple device, you do need to do that. I've used both devices because I had an Android phone when I got the watch, and I've recently switched to iOS. By having that app open in the background, it allows it to constantly sync and maintain that connection. Like with all of the smartwatches these days, you do get all of the notifications from your standard apps. Everything that you would imagine is on there, and plenty of apps that I didn't see notifications for on my previous smartwatch all come through, so that's really, really good. You then get access to 2 apps. You get the Tag Sports app, which is the way that they track runs and cycles and walks, and that's an absolutely brilliant app. It's one of the best that I've used compared to kind of some of the other apps out there. And they also have the Tag Wellness app, which is their version of a health app. It integrates with the health apps on your phone as well, but does your heart rate, tracks your calories, all of those kind of things, as well as your steps. Has a built-in heart rate monitor which goes in with that wellness app, as well as the GPS that we use on the golf course. It's got an OLED display with a sapphire crystal glass screen. Now the battery, they say Tag that the battery is designed to last a full day, which includes a 1-hour sports session. Now most of the time when you see these battery claims, they're actually really or they never really live up to them, is something that I find. One thing I would say from using the device for 6 months now is I think that's actually understating it. So on days when I play golf or go out for a run or a cycle, it comfortably lasts the day and normally can make it through the night. On days when I don't do any of those activities, I get through to about 7 or 8 p.m. on day 2 before the watch needs to be charged. So if you're not doing any sport activity and just using it as a normal smartwatch, the battery is absolutely outstanding. Linked to that, it charges from 0 to 100% in an hour and a half, so really quick charging. And for someone like me that just needs to charge it up for an extra 10 or 15 minutes from time to time, you can do that. It has a 50-meter water resistance. That's not something I've tested. There's something in my head that feels really weird about putting the watch underwater, but they do say that is the case. And it does have interchangeable watch straps, so you can use the special Golf Edition watch strap, which you saw in the clips at the beginning, which is what I've got on. You do, with the Golf Edition, get a plain black rubber strap with it, so if you don't like the white, you can go to a plain black one that makes it look quite sporty. And you can even buy kind of metal watch straps to make it look like a more traditional kind of designer watch as well. Finally, with the Golf Edition, you do get a few extra bits included. I'll show these on the screen now. They include 3 Tag branded Titleist Pro V1 golf balls, a Titleist divot tool, and 4 golf tees. So that's all the features of the watch. Now I'm going to hit this drive, and then we'll show you how you set it up at the start of a round. Okay, I'm now going to show you how you set up the watch for a round of golf. Unfortunately, when I filmed this out on the golf course the other day, I didn't just get the focus right, so it's a little bit blurry, and I want to show you it in good focus. So you start by pressing the shortcut button in the top right, which takes you into the Tag Sports app. You then can choose golf as your sport, and what you'll see is the watch then gives you a quick start option to play a round of golf at the course you last used. So for me, that's my home course of Goodwood. If you want to play a different course, you can press the courses button, and that will give you a list of the courses that you've already downloaded, so you could choose a different course if you wanted, or the chance to use the GPS and select a course nearby. But I'm going to use the course that I played last time when I filmed this for you, just to get me going. And you've got a choice of choosing your tee box, the scoring system here, so I could choose to change that to Stableford. and I then have a choice of doing gross or net. So I'm going to do gross, then putting my handicap in, and then it will show my playing handicap based on the world handicap system, and then I just hit start, and that is it. As soon as you go, you can see that we're on the hole, and I can just use the bezel there to scroll up to see where the green is and the obstacles that are on it. I can scroll back if I want to hit less than driver off the tee and see what options I've got as well. And that is it, guys. I'll now show me using the watch for a few holes so you can see what it's like to use out on the golf course. Okay, so I've just moved up to the tee box and we've got 238 to the middle of the green. So I'm used to just trying to play a little hybrid down there. It's out of bounds down the left hand side, so even as a short par 4 there is a lot of danger. So I'm just going to try and hit a little hybrid, carry the bunker on the right hand side and see what we can do. I've absolutely munched it. I've just pulled it a little bit to the right. It's going to be a long way down there, and this will be a perfect example of where the GPS watch will help us, because we're not going to know exactly where we are in relation to the fairway. So let's walk down and have a little look. That, ladies and gentlemen, is winter golf in the UK. In the words of Bubba, mud ball. Right, so let's see, we've got the green just up there. I've just tugged it a little bit to the right. Let's have a little look what the watch is telling us. Hopefully you'll be able to get that. Roughly about 79 yards to the centre of the green. It might be a little bit blurry where I'm trying to pick up a screen, but hopefully you can see well enough that it's about 79, 80, 81 yards to the centre. Oh, I've hit that really well. Go in. So I've hit that really, really well, pin high. I'll show you when we get up there before we putt it out. We've got a nice little birdie putt. But I can honestly say the GPS has worked out fantastic. It told me I had about 79 yards. That's a really good yardage for me with this club. Hit it well, and we're now pin high. I've actually hit this a little bit too well. Got the pin here. Hopefully you can see just my pitch mark just shy of where the ball is there, and the ball's there. So we'll set it up and we'll have a little birdie putt. Let's see if we can get one to the hole. Come on, let's get it to the hole. Raced it. Oh, not too bad, a couple of feet. Okay, so I've just walked off the hole, guys. It's gotten to the next tee, so the watch is auto updated. So I'm just going to go back to the hole before, and you'll see in the bottom right there's this little bit that says score. I just press that. It then gives you this option here, and you can put your score on that hole on this side, or if you're playing Stableford and you blob it, you can put blobs in there as well. So I'm just going to show that I made a 4 there. Update my putts to 2, hit OK, and it's updating. And hopefully what you can now see around the outside on this bezel, you've got the numbers of the golf holes. So first 3 just say golf edition, then 4, 5, 6, all the way around to 18 on this side. I'm not sure if you're getting that with the zoom here. But what it does, it puts like a little coloured dot. If I just press the screen back on, what you'll see here is it just puts a little coloured dot next to that number corresponding to the score on that hole. So if you make a bogey, it shows a little amber. If you make a par, it shows green. Double bogeys and worse go red. And if you make birdies, they start to show blue. So it's a really quick and easy way just to sort of roughly track your score as you're going around. And I'll show you after we finish the round what happens when you go into the app and can track further stats from there. Just going to go and finish out the rest of the holes, and then we'll show you the post. Okay guys, so I've just finished the 9 holes, and what I'm going to do now is just show you how easy it is to end your round. So I'm just going to scroll out, end round, and that's that done. Round is ended. Now I'm just going to open up my phone for you. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'm just going to go into the golf app, click on rounds, and hopefully you can already see that the round has uploaded there already. That's how quickly this device syncs. I don't know if I've caught that all on camera, but I don't want to repeat it again because I want you to see just how quick that was. By the time I'd pressed it, got the phone out of my pocket, the round is in there, and And if I click on the scorecard and the map, you can see all of the scores from the holes that I've played in there. And what I'll do now is I'm going to go home and then I'll show you how to do all the post-round stuff. Okay, so we're back home now and I'm going to show you what you can do post-round to add a little bit of extra data to the golf app and allow you to track a few more stats. So I'm just going to open the golf app, and then what I'm going to do is press rounds at the bottom, and you'll see that the round we just played is now at the top of our list. If I click on that and then press the scorecard and map button, what I can see is the holes that I've played, so the 9 holes that I played. And if I press the padlock, I can unlock the round and then start to edit it. So if you click on the score on a hole, you can see that it's already got the score and the number of putts that I put in as I was going round. I now have the option to add in whether I hit the fairway, whether I was in any bunkers, and whether I took any penalty shots. So what I'm going to do is just enter all that data now, and I'll show you all the stats that you can look at afterwards. Okay, so I've entered all that data now, and I'm just going to go backwards, and what I've got a couple of options here is I can see some stats on the round itself. So you can see that I had 33 greens in regulation, I had 17% of scrambling success, I didn't have any sand saves because I wasn't in any bunkers, but that data would show if I did. And I can also see my putting stats, so I had 1.8 putts per hole, and that was 22% one putts and 78% two putts. I can also, if I want to, I can press this round recap button, and it gives you kind of like a PDF view of your round and the data, and you can then export that to different sort of forms of social media. So I'll just zoom in so you can see that, which is another cool feature. So if you want to share it with a friend or a coach, this is something you've got available to you. If I now just come out of here and go back to the Me tab at the bottom, I can now see some data based on my all-time performance, my last 20 rounds or my last 5 rounds. So if I use my all-time performance, I can see the best ever score I've had to par. I can see the average number of putts per hole that I take, so I'm currently averaging about 1.9. and the total number of greens in regulation since I've been using the watch at 25%. I can then see this score distribution at the bottom, so how many times I make a birdie, par, bogey, double or triple or worse, and my average score to par. And what I can do is I can actually track that and compare my all-time performance to my last 5 performance to see if I'm getting a little bit better. So actually I've had 28% greens in regulation in the last 5, which is marginally up from my average. If I compare that to my last 20, my last 20 is very similar to my all-time because I've been playing about 20 rounds since I've had the watch. So that's the sort of cool stuff that you can do. If you want to as well, you can also go onto the courses tab and you can actually do a little overview of courses, download courses here ready to go so they're on your watch for you as well. So the one thing I haven't done or haven't shown you during this review is there's a feature where you can record the shots. And what you can do is as you play each shot, you can go in and press a couple of buttons on the watch and record shot, hit it, walk up to your ball, do the same thing again, and the watch will use the GPS to work out how many yards you've hit each shot. Now my understanding is then you can go in after the round and edit what club it was that you used, and the watch and the app will then give you a little bit more extra data on how far your clubs go on average. I think this is very similar to what I'm used to seeing in the original versions of something like ShotScope or Arcos. So if any of you guys out there have used either of those two functionalities, you'll probably be very, very familiar with it. So that's it, guys. That's all the stuff you can do post-round. There's a lot more you can explore in it, but I'm just trying to give you an overview for now. So we'll now go into my concluding thoughts and I'll tell you what I think about this watch. Okay guys, so we're coming towards the end of the video now, and because the sun is setting really fast in the background, I'm just going to give you my concluding thoughts. Now before I do that, I just want to say if you like the video then please do click that thumbs up button, and if you're enjoying the content from the channel then please do subscribe. As a new YouTube channel, every thumbs up, every new subscriber really is positive for me, and it really gives me the motivation to keep going. I'd also love to see in the comments below if you've tested this watch or know someone with it, or you even got one yourself. Tell me about it, tell me what you like, tell me if it's on your list of smartwatches to go and take a look at. My concluding thoughts are quite simple. I absolutely love the Tag Heuer Connected Smartwatch, to the point whereby all of the other watches I own are now firmly in the back of my drawer. Now the reason for me is because it does 3 things. Number 1, it's a designer watch and it is a conversation starter. It's a really cool thing to be wearing on your wrist. I go around the golf course, bump into people in the clubhouse, etc. Lots of people have seen the watch and they ask me questions about it because I'm the first person they've seen with the watch, and really cool to talk to them about how great it is. Secondly, it's a really good smartwatch. Now, I've had a smartwatch before, this one is better. Even though they both were Wear OS watches, this one just seems to be more responsive, it seems to be a little bit quicker, the battery life is better, the fact that all of my notifications from all of my apps just seem to come through, including ones I didn't expect, is just real bonus for me. Added to that, the Tag Sports app that I touched on earlier, which tracks all of my runs and my cycles. So I'm someone who likes to do a bit of running and cycling, and it's great how that works. I found it to be very reliable, and love the fact that the watch and the phone sync together really quickly. And then finally, there's the bit we've been talking about in this video today, the golf features of the watch. Whilst it hasn't got strokes gain data like something like ShotScope or Arcos, it is a really good GPS watch in its own right, and it does have some really good data metrics that you can track, like we showed you post round on the app on your phone. It's really easy to use on the course, you can track your score, and I found that it doesn't compromise the battery life too much, which is another win for me. So all in all, I absolutely love it. And let's talk about the price. It is expensive. It's not expensive when you compare it to other Tag watches. So Tag watches typically start between go from about £1,000 to £2,000. This one is smack bang in the middle at 1,450 in the UK. That does come with the second strap that I touched on earlier. Now, you can also change the straps, remember, so if you're someone who wants to dress this watch up, you can go and buy a different tag, maybe a metal one, metal strap, so you can use it, or a leather one if that's your preference. And that is another benefit to the watch. You can wear it in lots of different ways. Would I have bought it myself? Probably not, but that's because I'm tight, and my friends will tell you that. And I already had a smartwatch before that, and I already had a laser. But since I've had it, I always use it now. My laser's hardly used. I find it really reliable. So for me, it's an absolute win. Now on that note, I'm going to try and race and finish this hole, and I can get home and have some dinner. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.